Welcome to Round Roanoke on Cox 9. I'm your host, Margaret Hunter Wade. It is billed as America's toughest road race. The Foot Levelers Blue Ridge Marathon takes runners through downtown Roanoke and over parts of the Blue Ridge Parkway. In April, the fourth running of the race will attract runners from all over the country to our area. Here to tell us more are race co-chair Pete Eshelman and Kim Bratic, YMCA of Roanoke Valley Director of Communications. Thanks to both of you.
Hello.
It's good to see you. So 4 years, I can't believe it's gone by that quickly. Can you tell us about the evolution of the race, where it started and where you've gotten to now?
Sure, and it really has evolved. You know, our goal from the get-go, and this is all just started by a group of runners that had a vision. And we didn't want to go the flat marathon route that most communities do. We wanted to go the opposite. We wanted to make it uniquely Roanoke, and so we went. We made it America's toughest road marathon. So we went the difficult route, and it's really paid off in the long run because we're starting to see more and more people recognizing the name of the event and adding it to their bucket list, which has been our goal. Any marathon runner, they want to do Boston Marathon, they want to do the New York Marathon. We want them to do the Blue Ridge Marathon for that same reason, to say that they did it, that they accomplished it. And so, yeah, it's evolved, and just recently we were named to the Weather Channel's World's 15 Toughest Marathons.
Wow, so it's grown in size. Now the course itself is just that. Where are we going that makes it so difficult?
We describe it as running through a postcard. We wanted to showcase Roanoke to the visitors that are coming here. And so it starts and finishes in downtown Roanoke, and it quickly heads up Mill Mountain up onto the Blue Ridge Parkway, and it goes all the way up to the Roanoke Mountain Loop, which is probably the toughest part of the course. Wow. And then it backtracks its way up to the Star, past the zoo, and then down into South Roanoke, and it hits some of the major roads heading through the beautiful neighborhoods of South Roanoke. And then we accentuate it by finishing up by running on the greenway. So we're parallel on the river, showing off our greenway, and then back downtown to the finish line. Yeah,
so a little bit of everything. So one thing I understand that's new this year is this Run with the Legends.
Sure.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. We've our title sponsor is Foot Levelers. And they're the world's largest orthotic maker, and they've opened up new doors to us, and they're really connected with a lot of the running community. So they've been able to connect us with 3 legendary runners, that are credited with the booming run of the '70s. And it's Frank Shorter, who's the former Olympic gold medalist in the marathon. Bart Yassa, who's the chief running officer, I love that title, of Runner's World magazine, and he's also called the mayor of running. And then Bill Rogers, who came last year. Right. And he's a former American marathon record holder. And Bill was the one that really said, this is a race that you need to bring your friends to. This isn't about getting a personal record or your best time. This is about finishing it and doing it with your friends. So we have all 3 of them coming. We said all 3 of them are coming. We're like, what can we do with this? A lot of them are doing Boston Marathon, which is a couple days before, so they're not really up for a full marathon, especially America's toughest. Right. And so we said we have a 5-person relay team option. Oh, right. Right. And so we said, hey, let's take these 3, make them a relay team, and let's let 2 runners win the chance to join them as part of that 5-person relay team. Very nice. That's and so cool. That's where the contest comes from. Okay. And details about that are on the website? They're on the website, yep. And basically it's a photo contest, and again, 2 people will win, and the judge, those legendary runners will actually pick the winners. Nice. So. All right. So like you said, you don't just have to go out there and run the full marathon. There's some other options. Kim, you've got some to tell us about.
Absolutely. Well, the YMCA teamed up with the Blue Ridge Marathon to offer the Kids Marathon, and it's our way of getting kids active and healthy in the new year as it's cold outside. What kids can do is they log 25.2 miles on their own through January through April. And then on April 20th, we all get together and we run the final mile of the Blue Ridge Marathon, logging that 26th mile. It's a great way to keep the kids active. Parents can do it. You don't even have to run every mile. Again, it's just a way to encourage kids to be active and healthy. You can hula hoop those miles, you can swim, you can bike, you can run. Pretty much anything that keeps kids healthy, we can accommodate that as part of the miles for the Kids Marathon. And this year, this is also our 4th Kids Marathon in tandem with the Blue Ridge Marathon. This year, the final mile is going to be a rainbow run. So kids are actually going to dash through big clouds of color, and it's one way to make it a little bit extra fun and get parents excited about participating too. Yeah, that's great. And information about that can be found at the Y? Absolutely. On our website, we've got a Kids Marathon page that's set up, and you can always find information on the Blue Ridge Marathon site as well. Great.
And just quickly before we wrap up, this has done more for the Blue Ridge and Roanoke and the Valley from an economic development standpoint too. Can you just touch on that?
Yeah, I mean the race has had over $1 million of economic impact, local direct economic impact. So that's, you know, people coming, spending in hotels, restaurants, buying stuff. You know, the Orvis store downtown has one of their record weekends every year. I mean, people are actually buying fly rods. I don't know anybody that goes to a marathon, walks away buying a fly rod, but it happens
That's
consistently.
Great. Yeah.
And, you know, from the Roanoke Regional Partnership standpoint, our goal is to develop our outdoor brand to attract businesses and talent to the area. And we're seeing that, you know, when we travel around to trade shows and things like that, people that hadn't heard of Roanoke before now hear of Roanoke and are familiar with the name and know where we are. And that's one of our biggest challenges, is letting these people know where we are, and we're starting to see that pay off.
Good deal. Well, thank you so much for coming in and telling us about that and all the great things you're doing.
Thank you.
You can learn more about the Foot Levelers Blue Ridge Marathon on the Cox Community Calendar that's coming up during the break. I'm Margaret Hunter Wade, and this is Round Roanoke on Cox 9.